Hi there, I'm Laura. I'm an occupational therapist and a yoga therapist. Today we're going to talk about how using a wall, just a regular flat wall in your house, is an incredibly helpful prop for yoga practice, especially if you experience anxiety. Why is this? So really, any prop that we use can help to bring a sense of support and comfort into our practice. Having nice fuzzy blankets, I always have a soft fuzzy blanket on my mat because I know that that is a form of sensory input that helps me to feel calm and comfortable. It shifts me away from being in that state of fear or worry. So I use a nice fuzzy blanket to create that sense of comfort for myself. The same thing happens when we have physical support. So if you find that you really like yoga practices where you spend a lot of time on the floor, after I would finish my workday as a therapist and I was like running in 18 different directions, sometimes I would go to the yoga studio before I would start teaching and I would just flop on the floor and be completely still. Or I would put my legs up the wall for 2 minutes and just breathe slowly and feel that support from the wall. That feeling of something supporting you and the ability to work with your breath and peel away some of the physical tension that has clung to you. Peel away some of that energetic residue of the hectic pressure from whatever you were doing before, and to let yourself sink into that feeling of support and sturdiness can be very balancing for the nervous system. We can do a restorative practice at the wall. Things like legs up the wall or sitting with your back on the wall for meditation practices. There are all different ways that we can just lean into the wall for support. Pressing your hand into the wall, pressing your foot into the wall when we do these different explorations of body orientation. But it is that constant feeling of being supported and having security that takes us from that place of fear and uncertainty and shifts us into a different nervous system state of saying, I am safe, I am supported. That is the place where we start to come back to an experience of being calm. And for those of us who have anxiety on a regular basis, that can be a really challenging shift. Our nervous system is very good at living in fight, flight, fear. It's not as good at shifting into relaxation. And that's why it's so important to practice it. It's just like everything else. Whatever we practice, we get really good at. I have a lot of years of practice being super tightly wound and anxious. So for me to make that very conscious shift to, okay, let's let go of that pattern. I can relax now. I need all the tools that I can get to help with that process. So the wall is one of those things where if I start to take inventory, if I go through that process of saying, okay, how do I feel right now? I feel tension in my shoulders. I feel tension around my hips and in my jaw. I feel like my energy is a little bit frazzled and elevated. So what I need to create balance in my nervous system is some type of calming, down-regulating input to the nervous system. Resting and leaning against the wall, doing yoga postures where we have the support of the wall is a direct way of communicating with your nervous system that experience of safety and support. So if you have anxiety, stress, patterns of fear, I suggest that you try some different wall yoga practices. It could be restorative yoga at the wall. It could be yin yoga at the wall, but we also do flow practices at the wall if you feel like you need a little bit more movement instead of stillness. But I highly encourage you to explore how the wall can support you in your yoga practice, how it can support your nervous system in rebalancing and finding that experience of support. Hi there, I'm Laura. Thanks for being here. If you enjoyed this video, make sure that you are subscribed. You can also head over to LauraGyoga.com to get into our virtual yoga studio. That is our community for healing and self-development through the techniques of yoga therapy. You can join us for meditation sessions, therapeutic workshops, live yoga classes. You can check out the on-demand yoga therapy library with over 400 videos and growing every day. And you can also book a private session to work with me as a yoga therapist. You might want to check out one of these videos picked out especially for you, and I will see you in the next one.